for better ball striking, you need the low point in the right place, both horizontally and vertically. Here's a lesson looking at that. Good. Right, that's a good example of a bad one, like a new bad one. So hitting down a good amount at least, which we need. So it's not too much down. It's because low point has got like a horizontal, so it could be low like before the ball, my lowest point. So I would hit the ground somewhere here, go into the tee or into the ground and come up towards the ball. Your low point was after the ball, so it's somewhere here. Yeah, and you're hitting down enough, just about. Now low point's also got like a depth. Yeah, like a vertical. So I could have my low point a quarter of an inch below the ground or 5 inches below the ground. Yeah, exactly. So where you're doing what's going to feel like left side early and stay here, and we're hitting this sort of low punch, okay? When you start getting that attack angle better, and we change that low punch to start letting you move up and stand up and turn, you'll still have the same low point in terms of the horizontal like after the ball, but rather than going into here, at some point you'll go, that's enough, and you'll stand up. So I can go here really early, stand up and miss the ground. Yeah, I'll try and thin one, and I might still be hitting down. Oh, not quite topped. But it's okay, attack angle was level, and I topped it. Let's try one more. Like brush the surface. Yeah. But what's your attack angle on that one? It's -5 with no real divot because I've gone up a little bit more towards impact. Yeah. Yeah, so as soon as I felt like I was going to, if I exaggerate more, as soon as I've gone here, I'm in trouble now. This is going to be, very deep. As soon as I go there, I'm going to see if I can pop up. Yeah. So you can still hit down. I've topped it. It's down 2 degrees. So don't worry too much about your bad one being like too diggy for now. Let's hit down on the ball first, and then we'll start moving up if we need to. But like you saw, some you've hit brilliantly. Well, a lot you've hit brilliantly. I've just ruined your stats there by topping a few. But, Yeah, so go on top of your swing. So it's going to feel, just half a swing, or you're good. And where you exaggerate with like you going forward here, at some point, all we do is like stand up, that's it, and turn. That, which is great because you're hitting down the ball now, and then that's going to happen at some point. Same low one again. Yeah, do one more low one, or one more what feels like a punch. Brilliant. And then now let yourself finish the shot, and we'll see how you finish it. But the club path's superb because you're now hitting down more. Yeah. So rather than hitting up on the ball and having the club path move left, like we said, you're hitting on the here again. You're hitting on this part of the swing. So as you hit here, the club moves to the right, like we said. Yeah. Now finish your shot. So we'll see how you finish. So still left side early. Rehearse it for me first. Yeah, just go through, but slowly. So left side early, and there you go. So now everything's extended a bit more through the ball, and you miss the ground. Great. Brilliant. So that's still down, but you didn't have that big. That's more down than before. So 3.5 down. But if you can do it now, perfect. Okay. But that was more down without making like much of a divot. Or as much of a divot than you did before. Yeah, there you go. So as you saw there, very quickly, this player doing really well, getting the low point more after the ball, descending angle of attack. And on TrackMan here, you'll see some negative numbers when you're hitting down on the ball. So once you can do that, and the case we had here was a player moving right side and not quite getting back early enough to the left side. So with some mobility issues, we just moved him onto the left side earlier and stayed there. So hitting down the ball, great. But like you saw then, we want the low point after the golf ball. So it wasn't before the ball anymore by this pink tee, scooping up, or hitting the ground first, going up. We got rid of that one, so that was gone. and we had the low point after the ball. But once the play went left side, more left side, that's great. So you've got this horizontal movement from, well, it would be maybe right to left for a lot of people, but in this case it was quite central to left. So moving horizontally well. In the golf swing, also don't forget you've got rotational force as well as this lateral movement, and you've also got vertical force. So where we had the low point after the ball, that was great. Low point has also got a vertical. So I can hit down and have the low point after the ball, but I could also be too low vertically. So you can get a lot of contacts that sound like this or look like this. So big number down with the attack angle, and as well as that being a long way after the ball, the vertical low point also pretty low too. So once we got a hang of actually striking down on the golf ball, so this way, and moving horizontally, the body this way, we can't have the low point too deep. You get some strange contacts in the face, lots of deep divots, and you're probably going to kill yourself at distance as well. Just hitting down too much, probably de-loft in the face too much as well. So once you've got this horizontal force change and moving forward, we need to add rotation, which we'll get to in this lesson. But the next part was, can we get forward? And not that we're going to hit down, we don't need to make massive divots. So I can hit down on this golf ball without touching the ground. So very, very clean hit, barely make a divot, and attack angle still down. But now we've got down, without being too far down, because I've tried to stand up a little bit more through impact. So you can almost get it thin doing it. So if you are hitting down the ball and you've thought about doing that to improve the contact, then great. We need to make sure it is not just this big horizontal movement diving forward, and that you are managing to use the ground to stand up and sweep it a little bit more and go from a really deep biggie divot to something a little bit more of like a shaved divot. So hitting down, great, but don't forget vertical. A low point has also got a vertical rather than just a horizontal before or after the ball. So if you are making some deep divots, the plan is once you swing through, can we stand up and sweep it a little bit more off the ground?